Welcome to 15th lecture of structure of atom. In previous lecture we discussed about quantum mechanics. In this lecture we will discuss about orbitals and quantum numbers. So orbitals can be represented as a region around the nucleus in which probability of finding electron is comparatively high. And quantum numbers are, we can say that, address system for electrons. Multiple different electrons are possible in single atom, and each and every electrons have their own sets of quantum numbers. So large number of orbitals are possible in an atom. Qualitatively, these orbitals can be distinguished based on their size, shapes and orientations. An orbital of smaller size means there is more chance of finding electron near the nucleus. That means as the number of orbital increases, electrons are moving away from the nucleus. Similarly, shape and orientation mean that there is a more probability of finding the electron along the certain directions than along other. That means suppose we have a molecule and this is the nucleus of molecule containing positive charge, atom and nucleus of atom containing positive charge, and we have some orbitals around it. So as we assumed earlier, orbitals were circular in size or spherical in size or shape, but actually they have different type of shapes. And what actually shapes mean? So let us assume example of our solar system first. So this is how we see images of our solar system in books or on net, etc. So as we can see, they show circular rounds around the sun. So what they actually represent? Suppose we talk about our earth, then as we can see, earth is placed on a ring, giant ring, which circulates around the sun. So question is, do we really have these type of rings in our solar system? So obvious answer is no, we do not have these type of rings are in our solar system. So why in this image, as we can see, we have multiple different type of rings for each planet which is revolving around the sun. As we can see, we have multiple different type of rings here for each planet which is revolving around the earth. So simply these rings represents path of planets which are revolving around the sun. Actually we do not have these type of rings, it is just representation of rotational path of each planet around the sun. They follows this path and circulates around the sun. Actually we do not have this type of structure. That means if we are able to take a picture of our solar system, it will be something like this. At the center you will notice we have a large sun and planets are present like this. Okay, no circular paths will be observed, but to understand easily our solar system, we just draw circular path of each planet around the sun like this, so that we can easily understand how planets are moving around the sun. So same is true for our atoms as well. We do not have any shapes or structures around the nucleus. Actually we have only electrons present around the nucleus, and they do not have any fixed shapes to follow. That means if you are able to capture image of atom, it will be something like this. At the center you will notice we have a very small tiny nucleus, and around it at some spots you will see electrons are present like this. Okay, so almost this type of image will be seen if we are able to capture an image of atom. We do not have any proper shapes present around the nucleus, just like our solar system. To represent proper directions of movement of electrons or probability of finding electrons around the nucleus, we can draw shapes. That means suppose if probability of finding this electron is comparatively high on this line, then we can draw a line like this. If probability of finding electrons of these two electrons are high in this type of region, then we can draw it like this. Suppose probability of finding few electrons present here, here and here, all of them are comparatively has high probability in a region like this, then we can draw it as their orbital shapes. Okay, so that means all of the shapes which we are going to discuss in upcoming points are just imaginary shapes which represents probability of finding electrons in certain regions. They do not have any fixed shape like this in atom. These atomic orbitals are precisely distinguished by what are known as quantum numbers. Each orbital is designated by three quantum numbers labeled as n, l and ml. First one is principal quantum number called n and is a positive integer value with value n is equal to 1, 2, 3 and so on. The principal quantum number determines the size and to large extent the energy of orbital. That means as the principal quantum number increases, it represents size is increasing as well as energy is also increasing. If size is increasing, it represents electrons are moving away from the nucleus, and as mentioned earlier, if electrons are moving away from the nucleus, energies will increase. For hydrogen atom and hydrogen like species, that means having one electron only, their energies depends only on the principal quantum number. But if you have more than one electron, then you have to count on other quantum numbers as well. The principal quantum numbers also identifies the shell. With the increase in the value of n, the number of allowed orbital increases and are given by n square. That means in increasing quantum number you will get more numbers of orbitals. So all the orbitals of a given value n constitute a single shell of atom. That means we can say that around the atom we have an area which can be represented with principal quantum number. In that area, specifically in certain region, you will get more probability of finding electrons. So let us easily visualize it to easy understand. Suppose this is our nucleus and we have a region here which indicates principal quantum number 1, but specifically in this region at certain area probability of finding electron is more, and in certain area probability of finding electron is less or even 0. That means you won't find electrons in certain region of this principal quantum number of number 1. So similar is true for principal quantum number 2, 3, 4 and so on. So let us assume we have a principal quantum number 3 here, and this principal quantum number, this region has probability of finding electron 0. Similarly, let us assume in this region, this is for just easy understanding, okay, this is not actual orbitals, okay. So probability of finding electrons here, it is again 0. Suppose let us assume in this region it is again 0, and in this region again it is 0. That means you won't find any electrons in this area. But let us say probability of finding electron is comparatively high in this region. That means mostly you will find electron in this area. Similarly, mostly you will find electrons in this area. So probability of finding electron in this area is again high. Okay, so this will be called orbital of quantum number 3. You will get multiple these type of areas in which probability of finding electrons will be high. So it represents these are the orbits of given principal quantum number where probability of finding electron is quite high. So these principal quantum numbers can be called as shell as well. Okay, so in a shell we have certain regions in which probability of finding electron is high and certain regions are has low probability or even 0 probability of finding electrons. Okay, so main thing, we have shells and different regions inside the shells called orbitals, which has probability of finding electrons. So all the orbitals of a given value of n constitute a single shell of atom and are represented by the following letters. So as mentioned here, if we are representing as a principal quantum number, that means we will use digits 1 2 3 4 5 so and so on. And if we are using shells, then we will use alphabets in capital letter K L M N, and further if you want to extend, then O P and Q can be represented as a shell, and n value for them will be 5 6 and 7 max. And as we are moving from K to Q, we are moving away from the nucleus. So size of an atom increases with increase of principal quantum number n. In other words, electrons will be located away from the nucleus. Number increases, distance increases. Since energy is required to shifting away from the negatively charged electron from the positively charged nucleus, the energy of orbital will increase with increase of n. Second one is azimuthal quantum number. L is also known as orbital angular momentum or subsidiary quantum number. It defines the three-dimensional shape of orbital for a given value of n. L can be have n values ranging from 0 to n minus 1. That is, for a given value of n, the possible value of L are L is equal to 0, 1, 2 and up to n minus 1. That means, suppose our principal quantum number value is 1. So possible value of L will be, it will start from 0 and it will end up to n minus 1. In this case, our principal quantum number is 1. So 1 minus 1 is equal to 0. That means for n is equal to 1, we have only one possible L value, which is 0. L is equal to 0 only. If you have n is equal to 2, then again it will follow the same rule. L value for n is equal to 2 will start from 0 and it will end to n minus 1, which is 2 minus 1, that means 1. So we have two different values of L for n is equal to 2, 0 and 1. If n is equal to 3, then you will get three different values of L, which is 0, 1 and 2. N is equal to 4 will give us four different L values, 0, 1, 2 and 3. So that means for a given principal quantum number, value of L, possible values of L is equal to principal quantum number. If principal quantum number is 1, you will get one value of L. If it is 5, you will get 5 values of L. Each shell consists of one or more subshells or sub-levels. The number of subshells in a principal shell is equal to the value of n. That means principal quantum number. So if number is 5, it represents it has 5 subshells or sub-levels. Now each of these subshell of principal quantum numbers are assigned with azimuthal numbers of L. Subshells corresponding to different value of L are represented by the following symbols. So if L value is 0, then we can say that it is s orbital. If it is 1, then p orbital. If it is 2, then d orbital. If it is 3, then f orbital. In our most atoms, we will discuss till the f orbitals, because right now in our periodic tables we do not have atom which uses g or h orbitals. That means we have only 4 possible L values, 0, 1, 2 and 3 up to 3. So if it is 4, then G, and if it is 5, then H, and so on. Okay. So table 2.4 shows the permissible values of L for a given principal quantum number and the corresponding subshell notation. So here a table is mentioned. As we can see in this table, if we have n value 1, then only possible L value is 0. Then subshell notation will be 1s. That means 1 represents principal quantum number, s represents subsidiary quantum number. If n value is 2, then you will get two possible L values, 0 and 1. So 0 represents 2s and 1 represents 2p. 2 represents principal quantum number and s represents L is equal to 0 and p represents L is equal to 1 or subsidiary quantum numbers. Then for n is equal to 3, you will get 3 different values of L, 0, 1 and 2. So again, if L is equal to 0 then S, L is equal to 1 then P, and L is equal to 2 is D. So 3 0 set will give us 3S, 3 1 set will give us 3P, and 3 2 set will give us 3D. And if n is equal to 4, then you will get 4 different possible values of L, 0, 1, 2 and 3. And 4 0 is equal to 4S, 4 1 is equal to 4P, 4 2 is equal to 4D, and 4 3 is equal to 4F. Our third quantum number is magnetic orbital quantum number ML. So it gives information about the spatial orientation of the orbital with respect to standard set of coordinate axes. That means on the it is based on x, y and z axis. For any subshell defined by L value, 2L plus 1 values from ML are possible. That means for given L value, you will get 2L plus 1 possibilities of ML values. Suppose if L value is equal to 0, and that means ML value will be 2 multiplied by 0 plus 1 is equal to 1. You will get only one possible value of ML. If L is equal to 1, that means you will get 2 multiplied by 1 plus 1, that means 3 values. If L is equal to 2, that means you will get 2 multiplied by 2 plus 1 is equal to 5 values, and for 3 you will get 7 possible values of ML. Now, as mentioned earlier, notations for L value is 0 represents S, 1 represents P, 2 represents D, and 3 represents F. Okay, so these are the notations. That means in case of S orbital, number of ML values is equal to 1. In case of P orbital, number of possible ML values is equal to 3. For D it is 5, and for F it is 7. These are the number of ML values. That these are not the values of ML, these are the number of MLs. Now value of ML. So value of ML will start from minus L to plus L. Okay, it will start from minus L and it will end at plus L values. That means for L is equal to 0, as calculated earlier, number of ML values will be 1. So ML will be 0 only one value of ML is possible for L is equal to 0, and if L is equal to 0, it represents S. Now for L is equal to 1, which represents P orbital, you will get 3 possible ML values starting from minus L to plus L. So you will get minus 1, 0, plus 1, 3 possible values of ML for L is equal to 1 or P. For L is equal to 2, it represents D orbital. You will get minus 2, minus 1, 0, plus 1, plus 2. Total 5 possible ML values. And for L is equal to 3, which represents F orbital, possible ML values will start from minus 3, minus 2, minus 1, 0, 1, 2, and it will end at 3. That means you will get total 7 ML values as calculated earlier. Okay, so these are the values of magnetic quantum numbers. This following chart gives the relationship between the subshells and the number of orbitals associated with it. As calculated, if value of L is 0, then notation will be S, and possible orbitals is 1. That means possible ML values. Then for L is equal to 1, which indicates P, and possible ML values, number of orbitals actually represents ml values, and for 2d5 3f7. Now same calculation, if we carry out the same calculation further, then L is equal to 4 represents G, and you will get total 9 orbitals in it, and L is equal to 5 represents H, and you will get 11 orbitals in it, or 11 different values of ml. Now keep in mind, for a given n value, as mentioned, number of L values will be starting from the 0 to n minus 1. That means n value will be always greater than its L values. If n is equal to 1, then L must be less than 1. It cannot be equal to or greater than 1 if n is equal to 1. Similarly, if n value is equal to 5, if it is present, then maximum possible L value is equal to 4. Okay, that means L value will be less than 5 always. It cannot be equal to or greater than 5. Similarly, relationship between L and ml, as mentioned earlier, for given L value, possible ml values will start from minus L to plus L. So it represents, we can say that if L is equal to 2, then a minimum value of ml will be minus 2 and maximum value will be plus 2. It cannot be beyond that. That means no less than minus 2 or no greater than plus 2. Now we have one more quantum number, which is called spin quantum number. First of all, let us discuss about the spin of electron. So electron spin can be represented with symbol S. The three quantum numbers labeling an atomic orbital can be used equally well to define its energy, shape and orientation. But all these quantum numbers are not enough to explain the line spectra observed in the case of multi-electron atoms. So as discussed earlier, in case of hydrogen you will get simplest line spectra, but as we move from hydrogen towards the complex atoms, you will get more and more difficult line spectra, and all of them are specific for each atoms. So in those atoms you will get different type of line spectra, doublet, triplets, etc. To explain those phenomenon, we need one more quantum number, which is called spin quantum number. So let us discuss it. So that is, some of the lines actually occurs in doublet, 2 lines closely spaced. Triplets, 3 lines closely spaced. As mentioned earlier, we discussed about doublets and triplets. What are they? So this suggests the presence of few more energy levels than the predicted by the 3 quantum numbers. In 1925, George Uhlenbeck and Samuel Goldsmith proposed the presence of fourth quantum number known as electron spin quantum number, MS. An electron spins around its own axis much in the similar way as the Earth spins around its own axis while revolving around the Sun. So this is the rotation of Earth on its axis. So let us assume an imaginary axis passing through the Earth from the top side to bottom side throughout from the middle of the Earth. Then Earth will rotate around this imaginary axis. This is called axial motion of Earth or axial rotation of Earth. And this Earth also rotates around the Sun in orbit. That's why it is called orbital motion. So Earth has two different type of motions or rotations, axial and orbital. So electron has same type of axial spin as well. In other words, electron has, besides charge and mass, intrinsic spin angular quantum number. That means we have one more property of electron. Spin angular momentum of electron, a vector quantity, can have two different orientations relative to the chosen axis. That means depending on the direction of the rotation of electron, you will get two different type of spin quantum numbers. Suppose if electron is spinning in clockwise direction, then you will have one value of a spin quantum number, and if it is rotating anti-clockwise, then you will get another value of spin quantum number, and these two values are plus 1 by 2 and minus 1 by 2. If it is spinning in one direction, then it will be represented as plus 1 by 2, and if it is revolving in opposite direction, then it will be minus 1 by 2. Okay, so these are called two spin states of the electrons, and they are normally represented by two arrows spinning upside and spinning downside. So two electrons that have different ms values, plus 1 by 2 and minus 1 by 2, are said to have opposite spins. An orbital cannot hold more than two electrons, and these two electrons should have opposite spin. Okay, this is compulsory requirement. If two electrons have opposite spin, then these two electrons only are able to allowed inside the orbitals, and maximum capacity of orbital is 2 electrons, but these two must be opposite to each other. And the sum up of all these four quantum numbers, first point, n defines the shell, determines the size of orbital and also the large extent energy of orbital. Then we have n number of subshells for nth shell, identifies the subshell and determines the shape of orbital, and there are 2l plus 1 orbitals of each type in the subshells, that is, one s orbital l is equal to 0, and for p l is equal to 1 we have 3, for d we have 5, and so on. To some extent, L also determines the energy of the orbital in multi-electron atom, and we will discuss about all of these in upcoming points. Next, ML designates orientation of orbital for given value of L. ML has 2L plus 1 values, the same as the number of orbitals per subshell. It means that the number of orbitals is equal to the number of ways in which they are oriented. And last one, ms referred to orientation of the spin of the electron, and all of these points will be more clear with the help of examples. So we will discuss about some examples in next lecture to easily understand this quantum number point.